Path of Night, Brine and Blood is an actual play Hunter the Reckoning podcast set in the world of darkness. We're all friends. We're here to have fun. But our story can include graphic violence, drug use, sexual content, and other mature themes. Content warnings can be found in the show notes. We talk at our table about safety, comfort, and consent, both as players and storytellers. We know what to expect. We're all excited to be here, and we want you to feel the same. So listener discretion is advised. Now let's take back the night.
The brown, sad seaweed drifting far from the land and lost. The faint, warm fog unlifting the derelict long tossed, but now at rest, though haunted by the death-scenting shark, whose prey no more undaunted slips from it spent and stark. Excerpt from Haunted Seas by Cale Young Rice.
Last time on Brine and Blood. Nat and her unusual new acquaintance Mateo drove to the shore, talking about the drifter's secret life before he disappeared into the ocean. At Jan's Dockside Diner in southern Massachusetts, the hunters came together to meet Dallas and explain his imbuing. But the last member of their circle was attacked in the street before he could join the conversation. Todd was left close to death and alone, his evidence regarding a pelagic conspiracy taken.
Todd, you wake to the sounds of a heart monitor and someone nearby going, "Oh my God, he's awake."
Tylenol. Water. Please.
Sir, we can get you something a little stronger than Tylenol if you want.
Tylenol. It's lucky.
Of course. Doctor, and you see, as you open your eyes, a nurse rushing out of the room. You are hooked up to an IV.
I kind of look over the IV. I go, out of reflex, I go to just yank the fucker out of me. And then remember that it's just going to lead to a lot of beeping and unnecessary attention. I'm looking around. Is my stuff here?
Everything seems to be here. It's all, your clothes are folded nearby. You're in a hospital gown.
Is my messenger bag here?
Your messenger bag is here.
I reach for it, and I'm just going to, out of some minor hope, see if there was anything that was left there from the ransacking that happened at the hands of this weird assailant guy.
Everything is in there. Your papers to grade, that pamphlet from the Bradford people. The only thing that's not there is that one single manila envelope.
A bit of panic washes over me, and I just fucking toss the bag aside, and I start slapping my hand out to like the side for a tray, looking for a phone.
There is a phone, one of those like hospital phones that either can call internally or you can like make collect calls out.
Man, this guy's frugal as shit. He's gonna hate this. I grab the phone and I start dialing out.
Do you know how to handle yourself?
Handle myself? Like what? In a fight?
Yeah.
Yeah, I look, I know how to throw a punch or two. I may have a record for having knocked out a pretentious fucking art dealer who didn't know his ass from his elbow, but yeah, I can handle myself.
I'm getting a sense. We can give you some, depending on where we are, we can give you some more training of some sorts or another to keep, but some of these pursuits include action.
I mean, ideally, no. It's nice when we can talk it through, but it's not every time.
I mean, most of them just can't help it.
I would say I specialize in rots, and the smart ones are not interested in talking. They're just interested in killing.
I'm sorry, rots?
You haven't been out there this far. Think smart zombie people.
That sounds awful.
Yeah, there's regular rots, which are just kind of normalish zombie people. Yeah.
Normalish zombies.
Yeah,
right.
they blend in. Look, I'm writing.
Those are two words don't go together. Normalish zombie.
Like, not everyone can see them, so that's part of the problem. There's kind of a few different types. They range from zombie shamblers to gaining some sort of,
Sentience?
yeah. And then there's just the ones that, without the use of our particular skill sets and powers, and however you want to say it, are undetectable until they're generally trying to kill you.
The way we look at things, the sight is what you're talking about?
Yeah, the site. I forgot you were on the site.
Oh, that is something that we should explain a bit more. Powers. It's a bit of a nebulous concept, but you figure out along the way that there are effectively triggers that can cause something in you to assist you. There are different triggers for different people. Like I said, we seem to fall into roles. Myself, for example, as an innocent. Some, like me, have certain abilities, and some have others. Something that happens to me, and the only thing that I've been able to figure out about how it works or why it works is that if I am in severe danger, something will get me through. Some of them are more direct, like I might be able to illuminate things on occasion.
I can learn about monsters by looking at them.
So,
I can make myself more approachable.
But you'll find it as you keep going, as you learn more about this.
And maybe that's what it was when you got that feeling to reach out and take the goggles.
I mean, I definitely saw a lot up there that I don't think I should have been able to see normally. It was fucking dark. It was storming. I could see right down to the surface of the water. I don't know.
That's quite possible.
You can feel it in the pit of your stomach, like your conviction building to a point of use, that you can focus the sight to be able to see more. Sometimes other things like that.
Yeah, thanks, Sel, for coming out and catching me up. There's a lot that I'm going to have a lot of questions, but I appreciate that you are helping me.
I have only been doing this for 3 or 4 months, so I am happy to tell you what I know, but I'll be honest. You coming along and needing to learn stuff is a great refresher course for me, so you're doing me a huge favor.
How long has the oldest of us been doing this?
None of us have been doing this very long. It's only been within a year or so for most. Something changed. There's talks about cycles and whatnot and stuff, but for right now, most of them.
Think like Y2K is actually a thing? It's the end of the world?
Well, I don't necessarily know about a computer problem, but...
Well, yeah, but like, you know, the Mayans have some shit about this and stuff too, don't they?
I think that's 2012, but...
There is something happening. I don't know what. I don't think any of us know what. But sometimes the sky looks redder, and we've been brought together to some purpose. Whether you believe that that's due to God, or due to karma, due to strings of fate that bring us along.
Evolution.
Also, Violin put a call out, and that seems sort of targeted.
Yeah, I don't really know how I found that site, or why I found that site, but I've been I've been on it for pretty much past 24 hours.
You get some food. The other guy shows up here. I've got a safe place we can rest and recoup. You need to get some sleep. The rest of us can check out the area, see what...
I do have an interview with the higher-ups at Endron in a couple of days. They want me to get onto that deep compression dive team.
I think you should bring someone with you.
Okay.
Are you going to be signing a contract or anything like that?
I don't know.
Because that would be a great time to bring in a lawyer.
I did mean one of us, but those two.
Well, it offers the illusion of being a lawyer.
Nat is grinning. She meant that as a joke.
Look,
none of us take it that.
I'm not really... Endron is evil as fuck. I'm certain of it.
Well, I guess the first question is, you've decided to act once before. What do you want to do in the future?
I don't know how we take them down, but...
It sounds like you want to take them down.
Whatever's happening over Texas Tower 2 needs to stop. I know that for certain. Whatever else the company's doing, I don't know how to go after that, but I know Texas Tower 2 is something particularly awful.
That's a pretty remote location. It's going to be tough to get there.
It sounds like we might need more information.
Yeah.
I know a decent amount of people in the area. I'm friends with some dive specialists, just, freelance guys that might have some more information about the history of the site. But maybe we can use this interview and a position on the compression team to our advantage. I don't know.
It's a possibility.
I can't stay past tomorrow night. I have to be back or I am going to lose my job.
That's fair.
Where are you out of?
Narragansett.
We can do some transport. Look, we got a HQ. I don't know how much time we have until whatever violin saws becomes a real issue. But it sounds like we have 2 days into the interview and go from there. I'm up here. I've secured property at least, so we have a place to operate out of that isn't controlled by somebody else.
It sounds like we're going to need to meet up with our missing person, and maybe if we get him looped in on time, we'll be able to use that day off of yours to something. Recon?
You should definitely start gathering information about Endron and the tower and anything else you can learn locally about any kind of legends or whatnot that might be happening out there.
I mean, I can look into that.
Perfect.
Dallas, your phone rings in your pocket.
Oh, shit. Sorry. Excuse me, guys.
Sure.
He takes the phone out of his pocket, takes a look at the number.
Massachusetts number, but not one you recognize.
Hello, this is Dallas.
Dallas McCoppin?
That's me.
Yeah, okay, hi. This is, Andrea Robbins. Did you work with Dave? I found your number in with some of his things.
I did.
Did? Oh no, did he get fired?
There was an incident on the site. I think he got injured.
Oh.
Has no one contacted you yet?
I mean, not since you left for work this morning.
So to be clear, Dave was my buddy that grew the gills, right?
Dave is the buddy that grew gills and you saw taken out of there in a body bag.
And that was 2 days ago.
And that was 2 days ago.
What's Dave's last name?
Griggs.
Okay.
Griggs? You said Andrea? You saw Dave this morning?
Yeah, he came home yesterday. A little beat up. He's in a bad mood, but went out this morning. But he hasn't come home yet, so I know it's a couple of hours, but he was just acting all weird, and I know that you worked with him out there, and he was home earlier than I thought he was going to be, because he said he was going to stay out at the work site, so I don't know. Do you know, is he okay? Is he feeling all right? I know he's been stressed about the whole baby thing.
Yeah. No, Dave's, he's been okay.
Okay, that's good to hear. I'm sorry. I know this is a weird phone call. I just...
No.
I've been worried about him.
Honestly, Andrea, things have just been crazy over at the work site. There's just a couple of accidents. I know, I know Dave got hurt the other day. I thought that's what you were calling about.
Oh, no, I mean, he seemed okay.
Yeah, I you know, he's a tough bastard. He'll bounce right back. You you give me a call if anything else happens.
Sure, of course, yeah.
I know
I know, I'm sorry, I'm being silly.
He's been acting pretty stressed at work as well.
I know he's...
And we had a few guys that kind of cracked. And I think that's been weighing on him.
Okay.
If he's acting funny at home, you give me a call right away, and I'll make sure to head over and help out. I want to see. I want to make sure that he's healthy. All right.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. I'm really sorry to bother you. I know it's your day off.
No bother at all.
If he's home. Then...
Honestly, Andrea, it's all right. Any time of day, you give me a call.
Okay. Thank you. I'll.
And you hear a baby start crying in the background.
Oh, I'm sorry. I gotta go.
And she hangs up.
That was the girlfriend of one of my coworkers I saw pulled out in a body bag.
Grieving.
She was just wondering when he was getting home because apparently she saw him this morning.
Is that before or after the body bag incident?
After.
That's unusual.
Is that like the rot thing?
This is my buddy Dave that was growing gills.
That's definitely not a rot thing. Do you know where he lives?
Yeah.
We should probably check up on him. How close are you?
I mean, pretty damn close.
Because that might not be your friend Dave anymore.
Well, it might be. Have to figure it out.
I just want to prepare.
I mean, it's not like we go back to high school or nothing. We get drunk after work and fucking talk about our lives. Tell you his work friends could be we're work friends.
Look, I can put some eyes on him. It'll give me a better idea if he is what he says he is, or...
I mean, really more than anything else, I'm just concerned for Andrea. I mean, they've got a baby.
Well, sorry to ask the insensitive, but did you see him die?
No, I didn't. I saw him grow gills, and I tried to get him under water in a dump sink in our mess hall. And then things got crazy outside, and I kind of lost track of what happened to him, but I saw the TAC team take him out in a body bag.
Was he okay once you put him in the sink?
Not really.
What kind of water did the sink use?
I mean, it's fresh water.
The man that I met indicated that he wanted salt water. That he maybe needed salt water, or at least brackish water. I don't know if they're connected, or if they are connected, how they're connected.
Yeah, there's not enough information to go off of here.
Just starting the basics. Gotta get some theories running.
You think the guy that you met is perhaps one of these shark creatures I saw in some kind of different form?
Or they have some ability to affect people, like...
And then going off that, you think Dave might be one of these things too?
Like Blessed Headache said, there's not enough information. Just that there's some connection.
I mean, I'll give my sophisticated wild-ass guess as to what I think is going on.
Please do.
I think somehow they were using this T3 station as a place to corrupt the people that they hired. You proved resistant to that, and they want to keep you for that reason.
It doesn't really explain the shark attack.
Oh, sharks figured out what was going on with them.
The sharks seem, if they're anything like the man that I met, there may be some innate knowledge of wrongness or corruption that they smell in the air like we might smell rain coming.
Didn't you say this man had a problem with sharks?
Yes, I believe that he has a problem with some sharks and also maybe a shark.
So like a family drama sort of thing?
I was like, do you know he's a shark, or could he just be another creature of the water? There are many legends of mer creatures.
I do not know for a fact that he's a shark.
Got it.
I don't know for a fact that he's a shifter.
Okay.
He gave off a similar rage that I've felt before. And the words that he was using were shark. So it seems to me that he's likely to be a shark shifter who has, yes, some family drama with other shark shifters.
So we got rots, which are basically all kinds of flavor of zombie. Then we have shifters, who are people that change form from human to animal.
That's what I've
or
gathered
something
of
in
it.
between.
Maybe something in between sometimes, too.
I mean, to be fair, the things that came out of the water, they resembled sharks, but they didn't. They walked. They had this just horrible fucking posture. But those are shifters, you think?
It's a possibility.
In my experience, shifters are people like us. There's something additional, obviously, but they talk, they have personalities, they have jobs, they have children. I don't think the same is always true for rots.
No, and not everything that's an animal is also a shifter.
So, what the fuck are the guys with the octopus eyes then?
Sounds like a kind of shifter, but that's, again, a sophisticated wild-ass guess. Sorry. And she, pulls out her rescue inhaler and administers it.
Look, there's a lot we don't know specifically, and getting into types is tough, but it's mostly believed that anything out of legend is probably exists to some degree or another, and how friendly versus unfriendly they are is much like people, very dependent on the person.
I imbued by watching fairies.
I'm sorry. Like pixies?
I mean, not them specifically.
There's a lot of shade of fairy in many legends.
So you're talking about, the kind of fairies that come steal children in the night.
They don't usually steal the children.
No, they just possess them.
They just, it's less it's hard to explain.
Gotcha.
Many things in nature require a partnership.
Exactly.
It's not always a willing partnership.
I gotta be honest, judging from a lot of the posts I saw on HunterNet, I was kind of expecting to get here and find a bunch of yahoos with guns. Why do I get the feeling that I managed to find the only two hunters that seem that they want to just kind of understand and be friends with these things?
They're not alone, but
No,
they're not the most common either.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm kind of glad. I wasn't really looking forward to meeting a bunch of yahoos with guns.
I can't even fire a gun.
Nat has cracked a smile and is just kind of letting other people answer first, but she's just like this little grin as people are explaining.
I'm pretty neutral. I've had to do hunts where we've taken things down, including some things to do with fairies.
I'm not going to say that all the fairies are good and have good intentions towards humanity or their host.
I've tangential to what seems like vampiric outings.
Vampires?
I said everything in legend probably exists.
Ooh.
You're handling all this well, by the way. It's a lot. And yeah, we're not yahoos, but we're still pretty wacky to encounter.
I'm pretty certain of what I've seen in the past 2 days have been a ride. But like I said, I know the difference between sober thought and altered thought. And y'all seem sober to me.
Basically, it takes three things to do what we do that drive what we do. And what I figured out is those three things are compassion, vision, and dedication.
Action.
The willingness to act.
Sometimes when you feel drawn to whatever mission, to whatever call, you'll have people like myself and you said Pheia?
Pheia.
Glad I got it all right. And we'll be able to talk it through, see someone's humanity, diplomacy, connection. And sometimes it won't go that way. Those times are exhausting, heartbreaking, and yes, very dangerous.
Extremely.
And that's when others kick in. You're somewhat in between, I think.
I'm here to figure things out. I've dealt with both sides of it to a certain degree. I don't necessarily trust most of them, but that's not really my job.
Do you feel yourself gravitating towards a method?
Well, I certainly don't have any compassion for Endron. I just want to fucking tear them down.
What about the sharks? What about the...
Well, he said the sharks were there.
Sharks terrify the hell out of me, but I don't think they're in the wrong.
What about the people themselves that Endron turned, or corrupted, or just happened to be working for them?
I'm not sure that they ever were people.
There are some who never were. You'll see as you get further into this that humanity, it's extended into some and so much not into others. That among all the legends and strangeness that this world can offer, there's also boundless cruelty and callousness.
No, never mind that humanity isn't always what it's cracked up to be either.
John, your phone starts ringing in your pocket.
Excuse me.
You have a collect call from...
Todd, I'm in another folder.
Yeah, I accept.
Sorry about the collect call. I'm laid up right now. I was hit.
By what?
That's a good question. I was on my way to the meeting, and the guys, I got just about T-boned.
By a car. Got it.
Yeah, but the driver knew who I was, and they were looking for something specific. The folder, the information I was bringing, they took it. They took it and nothing else. This was a targeted attack.
Right.
What the fuck is going on?
I don't know enough to tell you yet.
Who does?
We're working on that. Where are you?
My ribs are still cracked. I'm in the hospital.
Do you know where you were hit around?
Hey! I call out to the hallway.
Nurse rushes back in with a little paper cup with some Tylenol and
What
water.
hospital is this?
We're St. Anne's?
I'm at St. Anne's.
All right, I'll be there soon.
All right, thanks. I'll see you soon.
Sir, are you making a phone call?
No, I hang up.
Sir, that crash should have killed you. You need to rest.
Am I not resting?
Okay, well, when you're feeling a little better, I have some paperwork. Do you have any emergency contacts or family that we should be contacting?
No one. Where's the Tylenol? I need the Tylenol. That's what always kind of does the trick.
She holds it out with a little paper cup with some water.
There's a very big sigh of relief at a single fucking Tylenol pill, and I take it and I drink it down with water. Okay, it'll be fine now. Don't worry.
Okay, well, we need to do some x-rays for fractures and...
Did you not do that already?
Sir, you only got here like 20 minutes ago, minimum.
Oh, shit.
You're awake very fast.
I'm gonna need another Tylenol.
Okay.
If you can just get me another one, it'll be fine.
Yeah, of course. And I'll come back with your insurance paperwork.
Fuck. Yeah, okay. All right. I will take a second Tylenol, a full dose, and begin my rejuvenation. Or continue my rejuvenation. I don't know that. That's not the fucking cause of it.
Oh, yeah. After a little while, a doctor comes in, closes the door, and looks down at you. Mr. Keating?
And you are?
Hi, I'm Dr. Jeffords. I'm supposed to be making sure that you're okay. As well as someone can be okay for what just happened.
What's the damage, Doc? How bad is it?
Well, that's what I'm here to find out. And he has like an old-fashioned doctor's bag, like one of those like leather clutch bags.
Kind of like over. It's really nice.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's special. And he sort of puts it on the table next to your bed, clicks it open, rummages around inside, and then pulls out like a stethoscope. He was not wearing it around his neck. Now he just sort of puts it on, starts listening to your heart, your lungs. Mr. Keating, you are in remarkably good shape, all things considered that just happened.
Why does everyone keep saying that?
Well, because a wreck that bad, he rotates your legs, rotates your wrists.
Cold hands.
Yeah, well, most people would be worrying about cold hands. You don't seem to have any major breaks. Nothing, frankly, it's a miracle that you walked away.
Yay.
Good. Okay.
Great.
Perfect. And what's that, nurse? He looks out in the hallway and goes, right, I'll be right back. Just a minute, Mr. Keating. And he goes to leave, opens the door, and then closes the door behind him, leaving his bag in the room.
This is bad. I grab the bag and I start going through it.
Okay, as soon as you look inside, there is, just some regular, maybe older doctor's equipment, and a jar, the size of a mason jar, with the lid unscrewed, and there's a bunch of brackish water in the bottom of the bag. Roll me a perception awareness.
Wait, is the water in the jar or in the bag?
The water is in the bag. The jar is open.
Okay.
I rolled a 9 and an 8 on my 2 dice pool. Let's go.
They only got 1 success. As you're looking in there, pressed against the back wall, like climbing up the wall behind your bed, blending into the colors of the wallpaper in this room, is what appears to be a small octopus with human eyes. And when it notices you notice it, it launches at you.
Ah! I go to punch it right in the fucking weird octopus head.
Roll me initiative.
I will be going on an 11.
It is going on a 10. Oof. You may act first as this small octopus launches off the wall at your face. One of the things that you will notice as it is coming is, unlike the normal 8, it actually has 1 extra extremely long and thin tentacle trailing behind it.
Okay.
Ugh.
So Todd's going to lock up with it, and I'm going to reach out with both of my palms to just grab the thing by its face. I am going to be using a carrier attack if I get a hold of him, and that carrier attack is going to come in the form of brand. Todd growls out, "Monster!" I have 3 successes to grab him.
So you will automatically lose 1 success because he is so small and slippery and wet, but you grab onto the thing and you can feel its tentacles wrapping around your wrists and like slithering up your arms as you grab it.
I'm going to risk 2 conviction, and I'm going to use an edge called brand. And the glyph I'm going to sear into its flesh will be monster. The mark is going to be about palm-shaped, and how long this brand lasts on its flesh is based on how many successes I get on the zeal roll. I'm risking 2 conviction. I'm zeal 6, so it's going to take me to 8 dice. Whoa.
What'd you do?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay.
So that is 6 lethal damage that it takes as I fry the fucker.
So, in Revised Hunter the Reckoning, there is no ag because it is all from the human's point of view, and lethal damage is just ag for humans. However, as you grab onto this thing, its flesh sizzles as you mark it with the brand. It does have a 2 soak pool against aggravated damage.
All right, let's do it.
It will soak 2.
It will take 4 levels of aggravated damage as Todd grabs it and presses it up against the wall, burning it. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, and it is marked for a year.
It thrashes, and there is like a hissing squeak, like the sound of a lobster being boiled, as you press it and burn it against the wall. It thrashes and writhes. Because it is small, it does not have as many health levels as a human. It looks very damaged. However, in its desperation, it is going to attempt to reverse the grapple on you.
Okay, let's go. Unfortunately, wrestling an octopus tends to not go well.
So it is at,
try.
because of the damage you've done to it, it is at -2 dice. Unlike the Defender, it does not ignore wound penalties.
Yeah, but also unlike the Defender, it has 7 more hands.
I do not have any applying specs, but I do have 4 successes to hold on to this fucker.
It has 6 successes
Shit.
to reverse the grapple. You squeeze down on it with your hand, and an octopus's body is extremely grotesquely malleable. Not just the fact that this thing is wet, it like gloops through your grasp, and you feel it crawling up your arm and onto your back. Now, you are not grappled in the sense where, like, in the system you can't take actions or whatever. You can still do stuff for the moment, but it is now grappling you and has suctioned its body onto your back near the base of your skull, and you feel that long, thin tentacle lashing around like all the way down to your lower back, and you feel a sharp beak approaching the back of your skull. Next round. Todd, it is your action.
Fuck, no bones. I snatch it by its like extra long tail that's at the small of my back, and I'm just going to fucking yank the thing and try to just whip it away across the room in just a graceless.
All right, it is at -2 dice to maintain the grapple.
Okay, I will be spending a point of willpower. 4 successes.
3 successes with the -2.
I chuck it into the bathroom and sit up, like, ready to fight this thing when it comes back.
It slaps into the wall with this, like, sickening wet sound, and then you see it, like, crawling down and across the tile to leave the back room and come back at you, and is at that moment it freezes and you freeze as the door opens to your room, and a nurse comes in and goes, "Mr. Keating, what are you doing out of bed? We got the monitor. Your IVs came loose."
I hold my hand out. I need to pray.
Of course.
I hold my hand out, like, please come over towards me and hold my hand, please.
Oh, of course. Mr. Keating, you're all wet. You're sweating. Please get in. Let's get you back into bed.
It's very warm in here.
And as you are doing that, you see this thing also seems not willing to be, like, noticed. And you see the toilet lid, like, slap shut as it also hides, as you are both pantomiming like nothing was happening in here.
I will hold her hand and lean against the bathroom doorway, just ripping out IVs or anything that gets in my way. And while leaned against, I look at her and I say, "I know this is really weird, but all the bad things need to stay away, right? Right? Stay away."
Yes, of course.
Ward. I will attempt to force this thing to flee down the toilet. Whether through sheer determination, monsters fear some invisible barrier, a defender can keep supernatural creatures at bay. They cannot approach her unless she allows it, or their will is stronger than hers. A character using Ward sees and feels a crackling energy radiate from her body. Creatures making contact with her aura spark a static charge. No damage is done, but monsters' limits of approach are demarcated. Stamina plus Zeal, difficulty 6. When the power is activated, the number of successes achieved must be exceeded in a stamina roll for each monster to approach your character. The distance that characters are held at bay is 1 yard in radius for each point of Zeal your character has.
What is the radius of your ward?
6 yards.
So it is currently within, so it will get an automatic test against.
Yep. 1 takes away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes on Ward.
Difficulty 6 for your stamina?
Difficulty 6.
It only got 1 success. Now, something important to note about Ward for the future. If you use Ward to trap something in a corner, it automatically fails.
Yep.
However, because of this thing's unique physiology, it actually can flee down the toilet.
And as a bio teacher, I am well aware that this fucker can absolutely leave down the toilet. Correct. Good day, sir.
There is a little pseudo-flushing gurgle, which startles the nurse that you are acting very weird around. And she goes, "Are you... Mr. Keating, did you just use the bathroom? You don't have to be embarrassed. I'm a nurse."
Yes.
Okay, well, let's get you back into bed.
I didn't want to make it weird. Sorry.
Okay, so I'm going to have a doctor talk to you.
Yep, of course, and I close the bathroom door.
All right. Let's get you back into bed. And she goes to, like, rehook up your IVs and do all the stuff that she is supposed to do, nay, is probably legally obligated to do.
I'd say with gritted teeth. Can I just sit for a while?
If you let me do what I have to do to take care of you.
But you have to let me sit. And I want to sit by the bathroom door.
I understand.
That's the deal.
And she pulls over. I'll get a wheelchair so that you can sit here, and let me get a tree. Just, you need to sit on the edge of the bed until I can take care of that. All right? I'll be back in 2 seconds. And she like extricates her hand from your hand.
Oh, yeah, right. Sorry.
And like realizes it's a little more than
very
just
sweaty.
And wipes it on her gown.
I promise it's
and
sweat.
then leaves. John, you arrive at St. Anne's.
All right. Before I go in, I will cover my right eye and activate 4C, which will be a perception vision roll for me. I will risk a conviction,
Okay.
giving me an 11 die pool. I am looking for 7s. 6 successes.
So that means there are 6 opportunities to be forewarned of danger, to literally be afflicted almost with visions that can help you steer the course of your day.
Mostly the away from danger part, but maybe forewarned of danger part. I will then remove my whaler's cap, dig into a bin behind there, grab a Boston Red Sox cap, and proceed to go into the hospital.
You, wearing a Red Sox cap, look like every other man in here and aren't even really stopped by the front desk or anything. This is sort of you just kind of come in here.
Right. So I'm going to bypass the original ones, and I'm going to get a little bit deeper in the hospital. I'm going to look for some sort of bigger looking important desk, and I'm hoping that it is stationed by a woman.
You can go, so if you go like through the lobby back into the area, nobody even stops you from going into like the emergency department. Not a lot of security right now in St. Anne's Hospital. And you can make your way to the nurse's station. Not the first time you've walked into a hospital.
Perfect. And I will sidle on up, get eye contact. My friend Todd called me. He had a car accident. I'm here to come get him.
Oh, such a good friend. Now, Tim, would you explain to me why she asked, was hoping that there was a woman at the station?
I have 2 merits coming into effect at this point. I have smooth, which allows for most of my social difficulties in my first impressions, I think specifically, to create a -2. And then I also have sexy on my sheet, which for as long as the person finds me attractive, also creates a -2 difficulty on my sheet.
Roll me for first impressions, meaning I would like you to roll appearance plus expression. And you, yes, have a -4 difficulty to this.
So that'll be 4.
So nurse looks up at you. Older lady, like no nonsense, stark gray hair, expecting to have to argue with a patient who like wants more medication or whatever. Softens and goes, "Oh, you're Todd Keating's friend. Yes, it was quite the accident that he was in. Yes, he's down in room 12B.
Oh, thank you very much. While I'm here, I'm a very good friend of Todd's, and I'm almost sure that he's going to want to finish the rest of his recovery at home. Is there any way we could start doing the discharge paperwork for him?
So it's definitely not recommended, considering the
He's that kind
extremity of the crash that he was in, but we can't legally keep him here if he, decides to check himself out.
Yeah, no, he's one of those guys. You know those guys.
I do know those guys. She
Yeah.
looks very put out.
And he just does a lot better at home. Nothing against the hospitals or anything like that, but and you might as well get him out of your hair, right?
Look, I will make sure that there is a doctor nearby, because the doctor has to sign off on it and has to, we have to witness him, because he has to let us know that it's not our fault if he goes home and then collapses.
Exactly.
So I'll get that started for you.
Perfect.
And When everything's all set, he obviously has to be the one to sign all that. Okay?
Perfect.
Actually, if you're going in there, we never did get his insurance forms. Could you get him to...
Yeah, we can get something going on
Thank
there.
you.
Yeah, not a problem. And you take it easy here. And then I start pointing the direction she was pointing towards.
She nods.
Oh, right.
And you know what? It'll probably be good. Some of our nurses said he's a bit of a dramatic.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, you know the type, right?
I do.
And I'll tap on the counter twice and then give her a quick smile and then head off towards Todd's room.
Todd, you have been left alone. The door to your room opens, and Blessed Headache walks in.
Todd can be found standing at the bathroom door. The door is open. He is in his hospital gown, assed out, and is holding a metal tray that he has kind of tucked at his side in a way that one might do were they treating it as a concealed weapon. And with a very determined expression, like focused on something, he stares at the toilet. Hey man, glad you're here.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here.
Do you have a gun on you?
Not in a hospital.
Do you have a knife?
I do.
I need your knife.
Okay. I kind of need you to put clothes on, though. We're
Why?
getting you out of here.
What if this thing gets to someone else, though?
Well, I don't know what thing that is.
It's an
but
octopus.
I didn't know we were fighting sea creatures. I assume it's more than just a regular octopus that you're doing battle with here.
Yes, obviously. Okay, no, never mind. That's actually a pretty fair question. It has human eyes. There's something going on. A doctor, a guy, he came in with like an old-fashioned sort of doctor's bag. It's over there. I point nearby the bed. Take a look at it.
Great.
That's the mode by which the doctor smuggled it into the room. This thing is here to take me out. But if I just go, there's a chance that it's going to take out someone else.
All right, I'll see what I can do. Do you want me to watch the door while you put some clothes on?
Just give me the knife.
I hand him a fold-out knife.
Pocket knife. All right. This will do.
It's a hospital, man.
Hospitals need to be more protected.
Great. I will go over to the kit that he pointed at and see if I cannot get anything out of it. So I bend down and close my eyes and put my hand out above the bag, activating Delve for the area. And I want to see what happened in this hospital room.
And you will discover that I am totally reasonable.
That's why I'm here, buddy.
To activate Delve, roll me with your hand out, perception plus vision. Your difficulty is 6.
That'll be 5 successes.
5 successes. What do you say when you activate Delve? What are you trying to see?
I am trying to see what has happened in here in the last hour or so. Maybe, essentially, I want to see the octopus thing. He said there was a doctor. I want to see when the doctor came in, what happened since then.
Okay. So what you see is the doctor come in, close the door, open the bag. You see, because of your angle and the fact that you can move around and aren't in the moment, you can see the doctor, while he's getting things out of the bag, unscrew just to loosen the little jar that's in there. You see the octopus that's inside that jar unscrew the rest of the lid as the water sloops out and it starts to crawl out unseen. Very difficult to see, like this thing camouflages against whatever it's touching. You see the doctor talk, turn, and as if he hears something. And what you see as a visionary, as it turns, is there is a little thin tentacle that goes up from underneath its doctor's coat and pierces the base of his skull as if he is being puppeted. And he walks out of the room. You see the fight that Todd had. You see the nurse come in and both sides of the fight be like, don't look at me. Nothing weird is happening here. And then you see him standing there by the door in guard for the next as long as it takes for you to come.
So I open my eyes. I look around in the bag to see if there's anything else interesting in there.
Doctor stuff, some scripts and paperwork from Autumn Healthcare Services, normal doctor bag things. The bag itself is old, but that's not completely out of the question. And obviously the weird jar and the brackish water. The water is very clearly salt water.
Are you telling me there's a blank doctor's pad in there?
It's a little waterlogged at this point, but
Great.
yeah. It's,
taking that, pocketing that shit.
yes, you now have an Autumn Health Management Systems scripts pad.
All right, I see what you're talking about.
The fuck was that thing?
I can't tell from that kind of thing. I've never seen it before.
We got to put this up on internet. Someone has to have seen, because that was coordinated. That was a planned hit.
Yeah, it sounds like it may be tied to something going on. They're talking about some other kind of sea creatures also.
What?
We got to get out of here. I can't explain here.
All right.
They're
I'm gonna
working on
trust you. I need you to watch this toilet.
Yeah, gotcha.
That thing cannot come back. If
will-
it does, let me know. I'll deal with it.
Okay.
But I need to put some pants on.
I agree wholeheartedly.
I head over and I hand you the knife and the tray.
I will put the tray down and hold. The knife will be open, but I will pocket it so it's not like I'm sitting there obviously holding a knife. They should be coming by soon with your discharge stuff. I got them to start
They're going to let me out of here?
They can't hold you, man.
Oh, I banged my head pretty hard. I didn't really think of it that way.
How hard did you get hit?
They seemed really surprised I was alive.
Okay. Yeah. Well, glad you're not dead. That
Thank
is.
you. Thank you. Know what? I'll take it.
Yeah.
And I get dressed. By the way,
Yeah.
in addition to what is clearly horrible, like blackened just zones of my body because of where I was hit, along a good portion of my right arm and kind of going up and on my back, that burn scar is pretty significant. But he very quickly gets dressed, grabs his messenger bag. So when I was hit, before I blacked out, the driver approached. He went into my bag. He took out the folder that I was planning on showing you. He knew exactly what to find and where to find it.
I could possibly get a look at some of the stuff again, but it requires to travel. I could also possibly look into what hit you some more, but I don't know if it'll give me any more details.
I don't know. I don't know how much time we have to look over every little thing.
I would love a lot of time to do that. I think things are moving, though.
Tie my shoes. All right, well, let's get the hell out of here.
How far away were you when you were hit?
What do you mean?
I mean, how far away from here do you think you were when you were hit?
I don't remember exactly where. Less than 10 miles.
We could possibly investigate. Well, let's get you out of here first.
All right, sounds good.
So, like, once he's dressed and back to watching the door, I will then go out in the hallway and, like, look around for the doctor that is hopefully nearby that help us to discharge him.
Yeah, there's some doctor, he's just sitting over chatting with the nurse and looks over when you poke your head out. Oh, hi. I have to tell Mr. Keating, he just sort of walks over.
Yep.
Mr. Keating, I have to advise you not to leave the hospital. I cannot keep you here, and what I will say is you need to come in for, like, at least some sort of follow-up, and if you're not going to come back here, at least with your GP. Like, you have a regular doctor?
Yeah, of course. Every normal person does.
Todd is just much more comfortable.
I say, like, just kind of looking at him really skeptical. Looking at him really skeptical.
Yeah. Todd is much more comfortable, finishing out his recuperation at home.
Well, I was supposed to be your regular doctor, Mr. Keating, but we didn't really have time even for us to have a conversation. This is a totally different guy than the guy that came in. You do have some minor fractures, so if I cannot convince you to stay, at least don't exercise much. Let yourself rest. And if you feel your bones starting to hurt, you need to come back in. I would suggest you be on bed rest for...
Well, he's definitely going to be resting in the near future, so no worries.
Hey, you know what? I'm going to do my best to follow with your suggestions. It's a comfort thing. I have to go home.
Okay.
And if I'm tense and uncomfortable, that could easily impact my recovery.
I'm just worried that we're going to see some sort of organ failure and no one is going to be around to catch it. I really strongly advise you to stay. But if I cannot convince you to do so, please sign this paperwork that says if you go home and die, it is not the fault or liability of the hospital.
Pen, please.
He looks like upset like that.
Slick fucking goop on like my pants leg. Like looks like a little stream of like dog drool almost that kind of clings to the fabric. And then I hold my hand out for the pen.
The doctor clicks it a couple of times, looks very clearly like, damn it, he's called my bluff. I didn't expect it to go this way. And then just huffs a sigh and hands you the pen.
Thanks, Doc. You're a good man.
Uh-huh.
I sign it.
Please don't die. It'll be on my conscience.
I'll do my best.
He looks over at you and goes, and go Sox.
Go Sox.
And then he
All
turns
right, let's get some beer. Joking,
no.
joking.
Like he's going to go see other patients. You say that joke, he freezes and looks over his shoulder at you. And then when you say joking, he like only half believes you but can't do anything and goes and like walks into somebody else's room.
I will lead us out of the hospital, and I will give a little wave to the nurse if we pass the same desk.
She gives you a wave back.
And I will get you out to the car.
Specifically, she gives you a little wave and a little, like, reproachful look at Todd.
I give her a yeah.
Oh, well, bye.
And the two of you leave.
Ah, fuck my car.
Path of Night, Brine and Blood is an actual play Hunter the Reckoning podcast set in the world of darkness. Dallas McCoppin was played by Garrett Gabbey. John Spencer was played by Tim Davis. Pheia Quinn was played by Erika Webb. Nat Chowdhurani was played by Rebecca Steigelfest. Todd Keating was played by Lex Lopez. Your storyteller was Rob Muirhead. This episode edited by Rob Muirhead. The theme music used in this episode was Sadness Room by Denis Goncharov. Find their music online at pixabay.com. Character art by Jay Steele. Find more of their work at Steele Art on Bluesky. Brine and Blood uses the revised edition of Hunter the Reckoning with few limited house rules. Hunter the Reckoning and the World of Darkness are owned by Paradox Interactive. Make sure to subscribe to us on Spotify, Apple Podcast, or wherever you find your podcasts. You can find us on YouTube at youtube.com/pathofnight. You can help support the show at ko-fi.com/pathofnight. And you can find us at Path of Night Podcast on Bluesky, Twitter, and Facebook, or email us at pathofnightpodcast@gmail.com. Take back the Night Hunters.
So how does that work? You need someone to like pray with you, or
My character doesn't actually totally know what works, so he's just kind of always like trying.
It is a very common thing for particularly newer hunters to like
brand.
try random shit to see if like, okay, is this what triggers my edge? Fuck.
It's funny because no matter what it is, you're like replaying the initial scenario over and over and over again in your head, being like, right, what the fuck did I do?
Yep. Yeah.
And then it gets weirder when you start manifesting new edges mid-scene and are like, what just made that happen? Messenger's not big on clarifying.
God damn it! I had a finger on my ass while I manifested it. That's not part of it, is it? God damn it!
Only one way to find out.
Some fucking pervert Harold being like, I got the good one. Like,
But you're holding a shotgun. How are you going to do that? Teamwork, buddy.
it doesn't have to be my finger.
This is how we get waywards.
This is
Shit, it didn't work. Maybe it doesn't have to be my finger. I don't know.
Hermits just made up the static. They just don't want to be around other hunters.
Fucking weirdos. Okay, so.
Tim thought he was free of Erika, but her spirit remains.
So.
It's like you're like, we're not fighting deep sea creatures, and you came from the diner where we were talking about fighting deep sea creatures.
I gave you a whole speech about shark men.
And octopus guys on the thing.
I don't remember any octopus
He just
guys.
explains, yeah, so I was just talking to a couple of fucking liars. And what are you up to?